fight from being the underdog to win Worlds, or just be like, oh, we were always the best?
You know, I wouldn't personally know, but I feel like it feels pretty good regardless.
I mean, 100% feels good regardless, but it's like, do you get more satisfaction out of the trials and tribulations?
I don't know. It's hard to, you know, there's one player I know who can make the comparison. His name is Faker. I don't think many other players can make the comparison.
I mean, very true.
So
very true.
We'll have to ask him.
Okay, let's get back into the draft. LYON on the blue side, going to ban out Rise, Rumble, and Pantheon. Nico, Varus, and Karma taken away by Gen.G, and they will first pick the Vi.
Okay, now we get the first pick Vi coming through. So that point-and-click lockdown at pick Canyon definitely loves to prioritize. And does make you think, what will it be paired with? Right, the Talia still open and available as an option, but we did see the Aurora come out from LYON, which, you know, really strong pick, and also something that I think good to deny it from Chovy. That pick, he had a crazy game. I talked about it earlier, but the 79k damage game in playoffs, it was like 1.7k DPM.
That is,
it was absurd.
Incredibly impressive.
Yunara coming through as well, so a pick that Berserker could definitely pop off from. You don't have the Lulu to back it up, though, in this situation. With that being taken out in game one, I know Yunara Lulu's been that really strong combo that people love to pair together. Yeah,
Seraphine gone as well, alongside Karma, so you don't have like a true easy enchanter. You could play something like the Melio if you wanted to.
Nico gone too. I know Yunara and Nico's been like a really strong team fighting combo, so it'll be interesting to see what comes through in terms of support combos. And Gen.G just going to slam down the Ambessa for Kiin, so it's not a flex, obviously, with the Vi already there, but that is... Oh, that's scary. If I'm playing Yunara and I see Vi, Ahri, and Ambessa on the other team, Berserker's going to have his work cut out for him.
Add in like a Nautilus. It's like the pure, I just hate playing this game composition.
Fortunately,
you know?
they have bans before they get to pick the support.
They do.
So,
they do. And it looks like it might not be the Ahri. It might be Galio instead. A little bit less easily counterpicked as the Galio in mid.
Yeah, interesting they switched to that. I feel like the Ahri has that mobility, that momentum in fights, but you know, a lot of global pressure afforded by that Galio on a pick that Chovy. I mean, there's a lot of picks he's very good on, but definitely excellent on.
Very true. And with the Vi and Ambessa diving onto the back line, Hero's entrance on top of it, you know, it does exactly what you want it to do. LYON looking towards perhaps an Ahri of their own.
Yeah, so putting the Aurora in the top lane, and Dhokla, a player who very often we've seen LYON put his pick late in this in the draft, often getting a counter pick, but here they've ended up flexing to essentially give him that and giving him a ranged top matchup into the Ambessa. So, you know, last game we saw Kiin get a pretty solid CS farm advantage. This time it's going to be Dhokla who should have control of that lane. You know, we've seen him bring out like the Varus top, the Vayne top.
I think this is the first Aurora top we've seen from him this year, though.
Yeah.
As far as I can recall.
I think it makes sense, though, fits in with the style of play. He's brought out a lot more this year. Last year, I think it was less common for him to be doing this, but now having that range top matchup to have a lot of advantages. And you see LYON taking out the Nami, pairing with Corki and Lucian, so a lot of strength there.
Also just a lot of pressure in the lane. The ability to go in and dash onto the Yunara, who does need to build up that cultivation of spirit to really be able to trade back into you effectively, or to hit the Arc of Triumph as well. Poppy banned away from Isles, no real surprises there. Probably his best pick, in my opinion. Yeah,
I feel like LYON probably want a pick that can like disengage and peel. I feel like for Gen.G, like a Rakan would be really strong with what they have already. I mean, Alistair too has a lot of value, but I think the Rakan still being open, I could see that being paired up. Honestly, we saw it played earlier in the tournament. It's not something Duro's play, but even like a Camille support would be crazy here.
True.
I think just accentuating what you already have in terms of the dive, and then Ruler can play something to follow up. I feel like Ruler here could just play the Jhin.
Yeah, you could Jhin. I was also thinking if you just want to dominate the lane, you could go like Caitlyn Bard and just like really harass this Yunara. You're not going to have last pick. We'll see if LYON decides to keep that for support, but Caitlyn Bard on the backline, tempered the fate there for the either disengage or for the initial engage for the Vi and the Ambessa to follow up on. I could see it working.
Yeah, Wukong ban is big, because I was thinking what does Inspired assume he's going to pick here, and they leave support to last, and I think Wukong was one of the picks on the forefront.
Inspired's Viego, he made a name on this champion all the way back in his days in the EU LCS, I think it was at the time, maybe the LEC, picking up a pentakill on it, and it will be locked in.
So there's a ton of momentum in this composition. You get a kill, the resets are going to feel really strong. Question is, who is getting you that first initial kill? They don't have like a primary engager yet, so that support pick going to be really important. It is leaving it to last pick, leaving that last option available for Isles to have the information. And GenG, it looks like they probably will just go for that Rakan. Really simple, just to follow up with the Vi. And also, I think Rakan Galio is just so strong.
Oh, it's gross. It is grotesque. Rakan Corki gives you pressure in the lane. See Rakan not as strong level 1 as some other supports, but if you use the Gleaming Quill and you trade in well with the Gatling gun, Corki kind of covers that for you.
I think also having the Corki compared to something like the Jin, the fact you have that dash.
A little bit of mobility, yeah.
Yeah, and it means that there's no real easy target. When you think about the sort of reset potential of LYON, there's not like a target you can think, oh, we can just jump on them immediately. They're an easy one to take out. That being said, one thing when you are getting resets with the Viego, if the champion has a dash, feels really good. There's a lot of dashes. If you start getting, like, you go onto Rakan, grand entrance in, get a reset again, and you just keep...
dash, get Ambessa, yeah. 100% see it.
Speaking of getting that first kill, getting that momentum, Nautilus, he is the king of single target lockdown.
Well, we needed lockdown from this LYON squad, right? You look at the rest of it, you've got a Charm, and you have a Spectral Maw. And that's all of your CC. Like, you have a slow from the weirding, I guess, right? But really, you needed something with quite heavy CC. Need to have someone that can be that initiator. The problem is, on something like a Nautilus, and this is why the Nautilus Death Fund exists, if you fall behind, you're gonna die a lot, because that is just what happens when you are the primary engage for your team. And GenG in game 1 showed us that in terms of laning, they can force LYON behind. I like what I'm seeing from LYON though. It's heavy skirmish. Yep. We didn't see them take that many fights deliberately in game 1. Apart from that one around the river where Inspired was able to pick up Ruler, I'd like to see a little bit more impetus, a little more get up and go from LYON.
Here compared to last game, better lane matchups. We saw mid lane really be a struggle, bot lane really be a struggle, top lane, I think Dhokla was doing better than the other lanes, but still behind in terms of farm. This time, I think you have an advantageous matchup in the top lane. You know, you have range versus melee in the mid, and bot should be more stable.
Yeah, I have to see if LYON can keep things stable through the early game, as Chovy on this Galio is just going to spot out Inspired. For GenG, business as usual. It's a very Gen.G comp, right? You have solid dive from Kiin and Canyon. You've got Ruler on an AD carry that can do a huge amount of damage later on. You've got Duro there. His ability to be everywhere on the map, get vision in before objectives, but also be that follow-up engage. And GenG loving life with these 5 picks.
You know, it's interesting because we saw the change that did happen for GenG that we've talked a bit about was Ryu, who was the coach for BNK Fear-X, coming from that team over to GenG. And I feel like these sorts of drafts were very indicative of how BNK Fear-X wanted to play last year and the sort of things they would draft. Having like that late engage, easy sort of, and we've had this game and last game. It's like you have your go buttons, you charge in, and with the team as strong as GenG in those 5v5s, it feels a bit unfair.
It's one of those, I think a lot of people, when they look at great teams, will say, oh, they play complex things well. As Ignite goes down onto Ruler, doesn't have the Valkyrie right now. Gleaming Quill available for Duro, but he can't get in range to heal up Ruler. Great trade from Berserker and Isles there. Yeah,
really good trade, and I love, they go for the Ignite. So normally we've seen heals so much for supports, but Duro doesn't want to heal there because the healing's reduced, so he holds it, he saves it, and that means you don't get the movement speed, so Ruler's trapped into the trade for longer. Berserker and Isles, you know, game 2, they're coming to play.
Yeah, really nice early trade. Good hook from Isles to start things off. Level 2 now for Ruler and Duro does mean they're a little bit safer. Another hook's going to land. Gleaming Quill on Duro will heal up Ruler as well.
Hey, look, we're 2 minutes into the game. This is already looking way better.
It's massive. Good stuff all around for the LYON bottom lane. Slight leads in every role apart from support right now for them. Dhokla getting the push into Kiin with that ranged into melee matchup, and Kiin having to sacrifice at least a couple of minions out of this wave just because of how much pressure Dhokla can put down. Ahri was used by Berserker in bot lane to make sure that he got his recall off.
Yeah, good move there, picking up the coal, so has that investment coming through. And Ruler not going to be able to max out as obviously he wants to get his tier.
I mean, Carl is so good on Yunara as well. All of that lifesteal, or pseudo lifesteal off from it with your Cultivation of Spirit, the Q. Wave start to push towards Dhokla, especially with Kiin thinning it out like this, but Kiin's struggling a little bit because of that range disparity that is there. Canyon actually foregoing the bot side Scuttle Crab, even though he was on that side of the map, is just saying, okay, we're going to get 1-for-1. I'll run up to top, delays me by 8-10 seconds or so, but we'll make sure that I don't lose out on a fight in that bot side river.
Yeah, this is the thing, is that LYON are putting these lanes in an uncomfortable position, so you have to kind of be respectful. And Canyon is the main one who's suffering right now in terms of, okay, my lanes don't have prio for the most part. Obviously, the wave is bouncing back now for Kiin, so he's covering there. But Canyon has to be careful because he's not going to have the immediate support, the immediate backup. Now, though, Kiin could end up in trouble here.
Kiin weirding for the slow. Inspired spotted on the tri-bush ward, and Kiin will just start to walk away. Inspired, you do want to get towards that level 6 as quickly as possible on the Viego as well, so with his Krug spawning, wants to get back there, doesn't want to spend too much time stopping Kiin from being able to push this wave in. Kiin, with the push, will now just be able to back away, but Dhokla freezes the wave slightly. You can see Kiin, not even actually get his recall off there. Good weirding from Dhokla to stop it in the last couple of seconds.
Yeah, just keeping the wave in an uncomfortable spot for him as well, and kind of just biding the time. Not letting him get that reset up, getting full HP.
Another good hook from Aux as Ruler's chunked down to half HP. The Ignite down as well will chip away at his health bar, but in the end, apart from just getting some of that health away from him, not actually costing Ruler too much in terms of CS. Saint's going to get taunted up here by Chovy. Smashes him with the Petrocite hands that he has.
I think that's the thing that's, you know, as much as things are going good for LYON, and we know that from what Inspired said before the series, the game plan...
Ooh, Valkyrie down onto Aux. He has to flash away, but the flash follow from Ruler and Duro is enough. The auto comes out. Isles just oversteps a smidge. Berserker now getting chased out as well. His barrier almost back off cooldown. Inspired coming in from the side as well. Flash, Spectral more, knock up with the ground entrance barrier as well. Inspired look for the kill, but he's CC'd. He'll get it. He'll go into the Corki. Valkyrie's over onto Duro, who flashes away. And Inspired will pay for his kill with his life. Canyon takes him down.
Oh, the barrier buying so much time there. Feels really unfortunate for LYON. If Inspired was able to get more momentum there, get the kill onto Ruler, then Duro, would have maybe be able to escape even from Canyon, but unfortunately slowed down so much. The peel in that comes through, able to delay those resets from coming out. Isles just overstepping a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit too far forward, but still, really good start for LYON. They are within 100, 200 gold, 6 minutes in. Public execution not hitting from Kiin as Dhokla uses the ultimate of his own just to dodge away. Kiin, though, does have this wave in a really nice spot, and Dhokla doesn't have too much mana. Let's have the TP if he just wants to go back and then teleport to try and break this freeze.
Yeah, neither top lane having reset yet. Both just kind of holding out, keeping each other accountable in this situation.
I'm going to kick off the Drake. That's the first move. Canyon only just coming past his inhibitor now, so this will be the first neutral objective of the series for LYON. Let's have another look at this. Isles there, procs the Aftershock early and then keeps going in for the fight.
Yeah, Aftershock down, shield down, gets CC'd, and Ruler Valkyrie's over him, and the Valkyrie, even level 1, does so much damage. She's just caught off guard, and then here Berserker's trying to trade back, but has to back away eventually. And then here, Inspired sees the free kill, but the barrier comes through, the healing as well from the Rakan?
Dhokla should be able to walk away from this one, but perhaps not from Canyon, who's on his way across. No flash for Dhokla. Cease and desist. He smashed with the fist, and a Vault Breaker out means that Canyon gets his second.
Yeah, the fact Canyon can get out of there without having to burn the flash feels really good in that situation. So, kill set up by Kiin, but finished off by Canyon, and they will have a gold lead now. But still not super substantial. LYON did get that early dragon.
Knock up there onto Berserker. Good hook out of it, but Ruler hits level 6, has those missiles, hits the first onto Berserker, hits the second too. Not quite enough to take down the Yunara, but will force Berserker out of lane.
Found a great angle there. Ruler hitting the level 6, having that power spike. You know, the Yunara's level 6 so strong, but not being available. And also Duro using the Spellbook Ignite for that extra pressure. So we see some heavy trading back in return.
Yeah, ping's coming out towards the blue buff area from GenG. I think they were wondering if perhaps they could go for the invade onto Inspired here. But they'll back away. You can see Canyon just going up towards his own blue side, wants to farm through. Perhaps make his way towards Kiin on the top side. Grubs up in 20 seconds. They were pretty delayed in game 1. Lots of teams now kind of are leaving them until there's a very very large window just to take it. It's like, I don't really need to be doing anything else here.
I think as well, a lot of junglers will just do like the 1 for the extra XP.
Public execution onto Dhokla, but he goes between worlds and dodges away. Kiin trading back in with that shield. Has the Hex Drinker as well first hit. But going, rushing the Eclipses, we see a lot of Ambessas doing, and Hex Drinker with the magic resist doing a lot of work into Dhokla, who is struggling after being in control of the lane early game.
Yeah, Kiin really playing for this lane matchup and starting to gain control. Could threaten a dive, maybe.
Weird and clears out most of the way. Kiin looking for the dive. Okay. Oh, it wasn't a threat, it was a promise as Kiin takes the kill. Just solos out Dhokla in topside.
This feels rough, honestly.
Yeah.
Having this flex pick that you put the Aurora in top lane in this matchup, and I know Canyon ganking definitely didn't help Dhokla, but Kiin getting a solo kill there just makes you really concerned, especially with how strong Ambessa becomes on the one-item spike. It's not going to get better.
Spike delayed a little bit because of that slightly different path through the Hex Drinker towards the Eclipse. Canyon did take the grubs while this was happening, and Ruler and Duro wisely back away from the bot side, knowing that, well, where could Inspired be? He's somewhere down here, most likely. Canyon gets a little bit of vision down. So, yeah, that voice line, that wow, wow. I guess every time we cut to it, someone recalling. Ruler will clear out the wave. And after, 6 minutes, we were talking about how it was only 200 gold difference. Now GenG 1.6k ahead of LYON, who just have that single kill and Drake to their name. Yeah,
I think with the lane advantages, LYON's not getting as much of a farm lead as maybe they would have hoped in comparison to like GenG Game 1. But, Inspired, as he said before the series, the hope is just to stabilize lanes and get to a mid-game where they can fight. So that's what we're looking toward. It does feel unfortunate that Game 1, GenG got the early dragons. They get like the Chemtech Ocean into Hextech Soul. LYON get Hextech Mountain.
Yeah.
If it's a terrible Soul, I'm going to feel so bad for them.
They do still have to do the next steps of taking the next dragon and then playing for the Soul as well.
That's true.
And so I was spotted out on vision. He comes towards topside. Inspired here as well. Has the Kraken Slayer complete on the Viego. Looking to see if they can burst down Kiin. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Saint knocked up with the Justice Punch. As Chovy takes him down to about a 3rd HP.
And now this is concerning because Chovy can start to move towards top. They have info this dive is coming.
Depth charge onto Kiin. Public execution to dodge the CC. Isles caught underneath the tower. Still Kiin surviving through it. Isles will fall. Dhokla will follow. Inspired will come 3rd. Oh, flashes away from the hero's entrance. A double though for Kiin as the TP comes in from Duro. They look to collapse onto Inspired, but he will be able to escape.
The fact that Inspired gets the kill and manages to get out before Chovy, it could have been even worse. Yeah. It could have been 3 kills coming through. Duro even coming through with a teleport. Just a devastating situation for LYON there, trying to kill Kiin and 2 go down. 3-1-1 now for the Ambessa. This is
while it happens, Berserker is forced away from his tower on the bottom lane. 3 plates, 3 plates go over to Ruler. He has a 15 CS lead as well. It's almost 900 gold ahead now for the Corki, and Kiin is still 1,000 ahead himself.
Oh man. Yeah, going from bad to worse in this situation. This Ambessa is going to be a problem. Yeah. So we'll see the buffer on the ultimate from Isles. Beautifully played. And then just buying as much time with the cooldowns, gets that shield in as well, focused down on LYON who had aggro. Dhokla grabs it with the tower ramped up, and then Inspired dashing and then flashing to get out of the knockup just in time. Because with how ramped up the tower
he was dead. Yeah, one or 2 more tower shots would have definitely killed off Inspired. Gold lead shrinks a little bit for GenG, but with the quickness going down onto Isles, he does have the flash, might try and dash out of this one. Charm onto Berserker as well, who continues to trade in. Isles perhaps looking for the hook onto Duro. As a flash of his own, goes for Ruler. Ruler flashes back into the bush, but Berserker continues to trade in. Flash in from Isles, Ruler low. LYON winning the 2v2 bot, but Canyon's here to stop them in their tracks. Canyon will come across. Berserker gets another! 2 for 2 with a 2v3. LYON's bot lane coming alive.
Huge play there from Berserker and Isles, managing to get the 2v2 kills, and unfortunately for them, Canyon cleans it up, but still outplaying Ruler and Duro. Not something that many players find the chance to do.
Really nicely done from LYON's bottom side. Because Canyon was there, though, it will be their first Drake of the game going over to GenG. Canyon now 4-0-0 on this Vi, and you can see the comparison in the coin-based gold grind between Canyon and Inspired. pretty even in terms of gold, but Canyon has been having a whale of a time when it comes to picking up kills.
I think it kind of shows that Inspired has been keeping up. He got those couple of kills, has been farming quite well.
Good
but
hook onto Duro. Death charge there for the follow-up. Saint looking with the Spirit Rush. Isles will take the kill. The chase continues. Great charm from Saint, just clicking the heels of Canyon. He has to Vault Breaker away, but another hook. A hero's entrance. Canyon survives. Sees the Saint back in. Canyon dies. Will they follow up onto Chovy? Inspired's going to steal away the buy. And Chovy just gets out alive. Meanwhile, on the top side, Kiin continues to win the 1v1.
But it's good news across the rift for LYON. Even though Dhokla is not having a great time in the matchup, he does escape. That's the main thing. And that play for LYON was huge. They get the initial pick, and this is what the comp wants to do. The reset potential is huge there. And the gold lead less than 1,000 now.
Yeah. Really good stuff all around from LYON. Isles setting up as well with a couple of great hooks, and then Saint coming in with the follow-up. Look at this. Duro thinks he's safe, but a good first hook into Depth Charge means that Duro now looking to battle dance to Canyon, can't get there. Saint with a great charm just on the heels of Canyon.
Yeah. And then here, Canyon goes for the short dash to try and get round the wall.
Bend the bullet.
But it's not enough. And then he goes back in. He's like, I'll set it for Chovy. Just ends up going down himself. I think probably could have just walked away.
Yeah, I agree with that. And you can see they were looking for Inspired, but Inspired, when you get the passive out of the Viego, you get that health back. Makes it so much easier for you. Saint now 1,200 gold ahead. Had a real struggle in the lock-in Swiss stage online. LYON generally had a real struggle going 1 and 2. But in playoffs, this guy really came to life.
And starting to do so in this game with a big gold lead now. 1,200 to get ahead of Chovy. And if you have a fed Ahri, a fed Viego with this composition, it's going to be so significant when you get those first kills. The momentum you get is huge.
LYON in the lead. 15 minutes in, still 3 minutes before Chem Drake, so we've got a while with this rift going up.
You know, Chemtech Soul, when they start to get dragons.
Not exactly what you want. And the problem for LYON is going to be Kiin.
Yeah.
He is so damn big right now, and you have to, like, we saw yesterday BLG versus G2. Obviously, we've seen Ambessa do a lot of stuff.
Oh, I did see that.
Did you see that?
I did see that.
Bin absolutely smurfed on G2.
On G2?
Yeah, on G2 specifically.
What region are G2 from?
G2 are from Europe.
Oh, Europe.
Yeah.
And that's the LEC, right?
That is the LEC.
Oh,
man, look, you can try and mock me here. LEC losing to LPL top laners is a time-honored tradition. If it's an international tournament, that has to happen.
At least you got a new cool screenshot.
It's true. It joins the 20 other ones of Aatrox's just slamming onto G2 on repeat. Or a cannon slicing Maelstrom or something. But yeah, like we've seen what an Ambessa can do, especially after you get towards the Death Dance, especially after you get towards a little bit of that sustain like, in the kit.
Yeah.
Now with the Eclipse complete, Dhokla is just never winning that matchup. And I guess the question I'm coming to is, how do LYON actually start to pressure Kiin in the side lane, or how do they negate the pressure that he's going to apply?
I didn't think Dhokla has a lot of wave clear and is hard to pin down. Kiin has been pressuring him, we've seen that, but he hasn't been killing him the last couple of times. He hasn't been able to dive him.
Oh, public execution going on to Saint, who Spirit Rushes away. Saint loses half his health and his tower. And now even with the charm connecting, Kiin very happy in this matchup because he has that Hex Drink to Kiin though. Holding on to his flash for now, Inspired on the way across. Spirit Rush available to Saint, but Kiin just dives in. Spectral Maul for the stun. Kiin now beginning to retreat, realizing that he doesn't have a huge amount of armor, and Inspired claps him. LYON, we asked how they could negate the pressure of Kiin. Well, just exactly like that, yeah. As they go for more, Ruler's going to get Depth Charge. Inspired chasing forward, Charm coming out with the quickness. There's the Heartbreaker forward by Inspired onto Ruler. He gets the reset, he gets another. Inspired and Isles take down 2 more.
That's how you do it. Get the first kill and the resets come through Inspired. Now getting so much gold off the back of that play, and GenG downing kills for the first time this series.
Huge from LYON. We wondered if they could bounce back after game 1. Well, they are bouncing back with a vengeance.
What game 1? You know, just forget about it. And Kiin, I think, feeling very confident in his strength. Burns the ult early, chunks Saint out, but it's an Ahri. You know, hard to get the follow-up in the end of the kill. And then here, I think Kiin was waiting for the moment to flash against a Viego. You're thinking, okay, I'll flash still, I'm ready for it.
That final order did a ton
I'm
of
pretty
damage,
sure that crit.
Yeah. And then here, Ruler on vision, Depth Charge comes out. Inspired has so much mobility, we talked about it in draft, and they can follow up with a Heartbreaker reset into the reset, gets the kill. And Duro really can't do anything at that point.
Yeah, don't be scared though, they can't kill you ever. You are so OP.
Oh shit.
twice I've casted GenG Series here at first, and one of them is Swan.
It's just a great way to describe the situation, you know? Inspired, given those sharp calls you've expected from him, where he's giving all the feedback to the team, saying what they should do. Ruler's like, yep. Yeah. Drake taking for GenG. The focus for Dhokla currently on the top lane tower. A 2,000 gold lead about to extend for LYON right now. Items beginning to come in across the board. 2 for Berserker, 2 for Saint with the Malignance and the Rocket Belt, and 2.5 for Inspired Collector, Kraken, Last Whisper. Yeah, he's strong. He's such a threat right now, and honestly, he can just kind of run rampant in some of these fights. And I think one of the problems with, you know, with the Viego being so fed is if you try and focus him down, he has the ult to buffer. If he gets a reset, then when he has those frames where he's untargetable. A lot of the tools on GenG are very powerful at focusing down a single target. They're very telegraphed. Yep. And if you avoid them, GenG can suddenly find themselves in a really bad spot.
Yeah, much agree. I do wonder if in the full team fight, it's nameplates on, but I still favor GenG's composition when it comes to a full 5v5. Even though they're 2,000 gold behind, it's like at some point Inspire can't just only use the Nautilus to walk in. You know?
I think it comes down to how the fights are structured. If they're kind of more clumped together and you get this flawless Gen.G engage, it's going to feel great for them. Whereas for LYON, I think you want to find it a bit more split out. Yeah. Someone's like, Duro's up to the side, maybe looking for a flank.
Team fights.
Yes, and you start it off with, you know, Duro was trying to find a flank angle, we killed him, and that immediate momentum starter for the rest of the fight makes it so much easier. So we'll see if they're able to pull that off. It's not obviously going to be the easiest thing, but this is such a great spot to be in this game.
Really solid stuff so far from LYON. As Kiin, spider senses tingling a little bit. Yes, it's a brand new day, it's tingling. Tingling a little bit as Inspired and Saint are waiting. Kiin will begin to step up, doesn't have the flash.
Yeah, I think that's the danger point. He does have backup with
you can
Galio.
See Chovy and Duro both moving down through the river.
He's walking into them.
And in there as well, there's the charm. They'll look for the damage. Hero's entrance onto Kiin, who tries to shield up with repudiation. Public execution as well, and Inspired's down before he can get the reset. Saint trying to run away, gets another charm onto Kiin, but even with the stopwatch, he can't stop his own death. Gen.G find 2 as they collapse on the bot side.
And Chovy was immediately ready to come in for the support. You know, you have the Hex Drinker, you have the Magic Shield from the Galio. Really just limited Saint's damage, and Inspired just wasn't able to do enough on his own. He has Collector as well, remember, so he really needs to get him below 5% and just wasn't able to do so. That gold lead that we saw LYON have, with this tower going, I think it's just gone.
It goes from 2.5k to 0 in the space of 90 seconds as the Ripto charges through mid and Gen.G get their 3rd turret of the game.
Not the best 90 seconds they've had, but it's still, you know, I think it shows how things can go wrong for the composition. They were super patient with this play. They waited to get the charm out of the Fog of War and layer the CC. The thing is, Inspired ulted a little early because he wanted to guarantee it, which makes complete sense, but you didn't get as much execute damage on it, and Kiin just able to survive. Look how low he is.
Hex Drinker in the Hero's entrance really saving Kiin in that fight, and then after that gets the repudiation off for the extra shielding.
Yeah. I mean, the resets come in, could be different. There was a lot of Gen.G members who came in. The whole squad were ready to back up Kiin.
But maybe it's an let's escape at that point. You have, and Viego's stolen Ambessa, he can dash away, he's got Heartbreaker over a wall. You've got an Ahri who has Spirit Rush, she can try and escape as well.
Or at least buy time for the rest of LYON to come in, but yeah. And I think it shows that a lot of these fights are going to be, do you get the momentum, or if you just struggle and fail to get one kill, that can just cut you short completely.
Definitely can. Gen.G once again taking the lead in the game. 60 seconds before we have the next Chem Dragon on the Rift.
Which, I don't think the Chem Dragon's amazing for LYON. I mean, it's decent for like a Viego, but I actually think for Gen.G...
avoiding the initial burst.
Yeah, and for champions like Ambessa, Vi, and the Galio, it's a good amount of value. So if they do get that Chemtech Soul, it is going to make things tricky for LYON in this game.
Definitely agree with you. Kiin still way ahead of Dhokla, who is currently matching Chovy on that bottom side. And it looks like they are going to send Saint as the one who needs to deal with Kiin, who still has his flash and his ultimate available. Canyon hovering around him, Duro on his way across as well. Good vision control for Gen.G around this barren pit. could just start to look to play around it themselves. Saint with the teleport could join from the bottom. Sorry, Dhokla with the TP could join from the bottom side, but he's getting forced out pretty handily by Chovy right now.
Yeah, I don't think Dhokla has a fun matchup.
Oh, public execution. They're just diving onto Saint. They go in with a follow-up. Season assist. Saint's going to Spirit Rush out. There's the hero's entrance follow-up, and Inspired trying to dive in, but dies for it. Gen.G find 2 Spirit Rush away from Saint Berserker. Trying to open up the big guns, but just doesn't have the damage to work his way through Ruler, who almost takes him out with a phosphorus bomb to the face. Gen.G will back away with the jungler dead, though. I think it might be a call for Baron.
Yeah, I mean, they're just so decisive when they start the fight. Initially looking for the Ahri, and the Ahri a hard target to follow up on, but Inspired goes in, and they just turn onto him. And as soon as he dies, it's just hard to see a fight that LYON win from there. Baron going to be secured by Gen.G. They're TPing in mid as well, so not even really an angle for LYON to trade for the Dragon. And that gold lead's going to be blown open.
It's so tricky because Gen.G call, we're just going into this bush. They jump onto Saint, and then you can see Inspired thinking, maybe I can get in, goes in with a Heartbreaker, immediate charm for Duro.
Yeah, I think there just wasn't anyone low enough for him to go in. It was a good ult from Isles to buy time for Saint, but
Two on the Spirit Rush here for Saint. Gets it back up, starts to dash away, and should be able to escape Kiin's clutches.
Not fun playing into Kiin right now. Feels like Saint and Dhokla, it's kind of been like just avoid him. But he is level 17 now. Problematic. He's just so bulky, so much healing as well. From the extra ranks in the ultimate.
Yeah, what are you doing to him, man? It's Spear, Eclipse, Hex Drinker, Steel Cap. So even if Inspired is there, his damage isn't really doing too much.
And I think the concern is you're getting to the point where like Chovy has a Seeker's Arm Guard. Kiin and Canyon, I think, are going G8.
Big execution onto Berserker, who flashes away. Kiin still looking for it, just dashes through them all! They can't touch him! Kiin, untouchable from LYON, a double for him. Just dives into 3, and like we saw it yesterday, BLG versus G2. When an Ambessa is this far ahead, there's just nothing you can do.
I think this is one of the big frustrations playing against Gen.G. Oh, looking for a fight here.
Chovy going very deep. Seasoned assist though onto Inspired. He's cut down where he stands. The hero's entrance in from Chovy as Saint pops the stopwatch and pops immediately afterwards. Gen.G, after cleaning up 4 kills, are just looking towards the Nexus. Berserker up in 6, Isles up now. The first Nexus tower down. Will Gen.G continue their advance? They still have that Baron for another minute's time. Dhokla chunked out a little bit by Ruler. Chovy still low mana too, but with the minions coming in, the Nexus tower will be forfeit. Canyon caught out, dashes away. Kiin dives in. The follow-up from Ruler as well as Berserker is cut to pieces. Dhokla, the last one standing on the fountain. Gen.G, after a few fumbles in the mid-game and great play from LYON, will still go 2-0 up.
And this is one of the big frustrations, playing against Gen.G. This was so much better than Game 1 for LYON. I think they had some great moments, but Kiin just said, I'm the best top in the world, you cannot deal with me. And now it's 2-0 to Gen.G in the series.
There's some great moments for LYON in that game, and we'll hear more about them on the analyst desk. Take it away.
That ended rather quick.
Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't pick scaling, Raz. You get a little hyped.
Honestly,
I was hyped in the mid game.
I was looking at
I was killing people.
I thought LYON did a lot better this game. I was a little concerned, specifically at the Viego.